Palestine will be free.
You will see.
Palestine will be free.
You will see. You will see.
One, we are the people. Two, we won't be silent.
Three. Genocide. Resistance is justified.
Thank you so much all for being here at such short notice. I was on my way back from Portsmouth from a conference, and I was actually asked to be in Berlin this evening because Dr. Ghassan and I were going to form a panel at the conference this evening. And because of my conference in Portsmouth, I'd had to send my input pre-recorded. And then as I arrived back in London an hour and a half ago, I could catch up with my messages and see what had happened to Dr. Ghassan. And we don't fully know yet. We'll wait to hear from him. But let us just think for a moment about what is going on. A country that claims to lead Europe, that has been responsible for 2 genocides. Let us not forget. Because before the Holocaust, Germany was responsible for a genocide against the indigenous people of what is today Namibia. Now we all know about the second genocide, the Holocaust. My mother survived the Holocaust in occupied Vienna. She survived by being hidden in a coal cellar for 3.5 years. And when the Gestapo or SS were in the area that she lived in, she was rolled up into a carpet, and the carpet was pushed up against the wall of the cellar and coal was packed around it in case they managed to shoot through the steel door. She lost dozens of her extended family in the gas chambers of Auschwitz. I have lectured at Auschwitz on genocide prevention. Nowhere in the work that I have done in the last 23 years since I left Parliament in South Africa on the global arms trade, on conflict, on genocide, nowhere does it say that the way that you atone for a genocide that you have committed is to support another genocide, not just by providing political and diplomatic cover to the country committing that genocide, but by arming that country. This country that is complicit in genocide decides that it will not allow a doctor who has witnessed firsthand the human consequences of this genocide. They will not allow him to speak to the German public.
Shame!
There is a word for behavior like that. There is a word for countries who allow their police forces to detain without reason innocent people at airports and prevent them from entering their country. There is a name for countries who allow their police to storm a conference in support of the victims of genocide to stop that conference taking place.
Shame!
We call those countries fascist. And if there is one country on this planet that should not be behaving in a fascist manner, it is the country that murdered the indigenous people of Namibia. It is the country that slaughtered 12 million people in the Holocaust. It is the country that now by its actions is suggesting that the state of Israel, some of whose members in government proudly describe themselves as fascist, they claim that that country represents all Jews.
Shame! Germany, you will run!
Palestinians will return!
Free, free!
Palestine!
Free, free!
Palestine!
I'm here today, not just for PMRS, but I'm here as CEO of the Health Workers for Palestine. What has happened today, unfortunately, to Dr. Ghassan is a tradition, an Israeli tradition of systematically targeting any of our thought leaders and truth tellers, from Ghassan Kanafani, Mahmoud Darwish, and many more. They have been targeted since the beginning of the occupation 76 years ago. What happened today to Dr. Ghassan is a hate crime. He was prevented from entering a country that he was invited to. A doctor, the rector of Glasgow University, no less, world-renowned surgeon, simply because he was there to tell the truth as a witness to the ongoing genocide that we have been watching unfold for more than 6 months now. These hate crimes are motivated by one fact, and that is that he is Palestinian. It is racist, it is xenophobic, and this is a system of hate that has been allowed to grow and grow and grow to this point that someone like him, a hero, is allowed to be turned around and sent back simply because he was there to tell the truth. And we are here today to say, we see you, Germany.
We see you, Germany.
We see your crimes.
We see your crimes.
We see your complicity.
We see your complicity.
Silence is violence, and they're trying to silence the truth teller. We say no more.
No more.
We stand here with the knowledge that we have truth in our hearts. We have truth on our side, as we always have. We stand here as Palestinians and friends of Palestinians, knowing that the Palestinians are the traditional indigenous custodians of that land, and we will no longer be silenced. We will not have our narrative hijacked and taken and twisted so that it is people like Dr. Ghassan, who are healers and truth tellers and thought leaders, turned around simply because he was there to speak the truth. We're standing not just with Dr. Ghassan, we are standing with the health workers that are currently in Gaza, trying to hold together a health system that has been systematically decimated, destroyed. Hospitals, health workers, clinics, rehabilitation centers, bombed, health workers executed, tortured, abducted. No more.
No more.
Israel is targeting every system that is there to heal and nourish. So we stand here today, tomorrow, the next day, every single day, as I said, until our last breath, shouting the truth from the top of our lungs to protect people like Dr. Ghassan, who we are proud of, and every other Palestinian truth teller that there is. So I want you to chant with me now. Yes, Mom, you're going to chant with me now. Say it loud and say it clear. We don't want no Zionists here.
Say it loud and say it clear. We don't want no Zionists here.
Say it clear and say it loud. Gaza, you make us proud.
Say it clear and say it loud. Gaza, you make us proud.
Say it clear and say it loud. Dr. Ghassan, we are proud.
Say it clear and say it loud. Dr. Ghassan, we live proud.
I want you to know that Dr. Ghassan is not just a hero for the Palestinian people, but he is a hero for humanity.
Thank you so much for this. So today we saw how accomplices in a crime behave. Accomplices in a crime try to hide the evidence and silence the witnesses. And as if wanting to admit to the Nicaraguan charges in front of the ICJ that they are accomplices to the crime of genocide against the Palestinian people, the German state decided to behave like an accomplice and try to silence the voices of witnesses to the crimes. They are no different than any common gang. One does the killing, the other one does the burial, and the other one gets rid of the evidence. But today, they have not counted on the fact that the world has changed. And the international response to this crime of trying to silence Palestinian voices has backfired on them. What could have just been a local event of a conference on Palestine has now become the focus of the world's attention. They will not silence us. They will never silence us. What they were trying to do is get us to unsee what we have seen. Those of us who were in Gaza, in its hospitals, Germany and its other accomplices in this genocidal war want us to unsee the children that they have killed. They want us to unsee the bodies of these children that were left permanently damaged by the weapons that they continue to supply to Israel. And so we will always say their names. Those children who have been killed, those children who have been named, they will never stop me from reminding the world about Anas, my 13-year-old boy, burnt with 60% of his body and died after 3 surgeries. Dareen, whose foot we had to remove. Ramadan, whose crushed hand we operated on. And thousands and thousands and thousands of more children that they and the weapons that they supply to the Israeli genocidal machine are complicit in injury. Thank you very much for coming out. They will not defeat us. They're losing. This is why they're behaving in the way that they're behaving. And the world has changed. We have paid a very heavy price to change this world. But we can see this genocidal iceberg, the tip of which is Israel, and the rest of which is this axis of genocide of which Germany is a part of. We see it faltering, we see it cracking, and we see it falling apart. Our people own tomorrow. Our children own tomorrow. And what happens to us today will change the face of this earth. Thank you so much. My passport at the passport desk, I was told that I needed to step aside, and then 3 policemen came and escorted me to a room in the basement of the airport, where I stayed for 3.5 hours. I was asked what I was doing in Germany. I told them that I'm here attending a congress, that as a witness to the crimes happening in Gaza, I've been asked by the congress organizers to give my evidence to what I had seen at Shifa and at Al-Ahli hospitals. At the end of the 3.5 hours, I was told that I would not be allowed to enter Germany until the end of April, that they threatened that even if I tried to speak through Zoom in Germany during that period, or send a recorded video to Germany from somewhere else, that I would be breaching German law with the risk of a fine or a year's imprisonment.
How are you feeling now?
Tired, but you know, when you see what they're doing to our people in Gaza, this is nothing. This is our share of a genocidal war that is being waged against the Palestinian people. They want to silence the witnesses, and they want to frighten us into becoming scared and into not talking about the victims and our patients. Thank you very much. It's my duty as a doctor to bear witness to what my patients have gone through and to fight that they get the treatment that they need and the justice that they deserve. And I will continue doing that for as long as I live.